Right, we're back. Bad if I do that? Oh, that's what I want. Stop hearing. Right, I can just take the headphones off. Alright, here we go. I need to wear the headphones, damn it. Okay. Is everything good now? Yes. The devilish grin on his face. Hopefully it's fine. Not even. Okay. Hello, everyone. Let's begin now. Hey. Did I just turn the sound up? We're going. Oh, okay, cool. It's the monitor says it's off, but it's right. Well, that was fun. Nice. That was easy. So let's start with a little story before I start drawing. I'm just going to post a. I'm actually stuck. Let people know. Oh, it says it's live. This keyboard is very clicky on the microphone. But nice keyboard. Lights up and has a nice mechanic. But how is everyone? Did everyone have a break scenes? Christmas, I took off 4 weeks. I not work, but I ended up working because I wanted to do. I'm still around. Stuff. But it's just not this. I was wearing a hat, I'd take it off to extremes because much technical stuff to deal with that you don't know. I probably should have. Would have been okay, yes. Watch ABS first. Don't be too hardcore. I've never been too hardcore. I'm not interested in punishing games. Hard, and hats off to you for doing that. It's like 1 a.m. here, sadly, but yeah. Sorry about that late nights. I started at 6 today, so the opposite. Same to man. No, Ty's not, I don't think. There are other characters in the universe that probably are, but I think. I don't know him that well. You're being silly. No. It's very much into Kaiser. It's just a very key thing in the stuff that we're doing in the future, like on their relationship. Yeah, it's hard to me. Comments? I totally get swap. Yeah, it's funny how you get these parents just do this weird stuff sometimes, where it's like they get something and it changes your whole life. For me, It's so like this is 1982 Christmas. For Christmas 1982, my brother and I went to see Tron at the cinema. Like amazing, and came out. And my mum and dad picked us up. They, you're getting a computer for Christmas. I'm like, what? This is, remember, this is '82. This is computers were like this really how does it even work kind of thing. And still those days. Um, yeah, what happened was she went to the store where the son of a friend of theirs worked, and for games and gifts, they did role playing games, and they had like Atari 2600, and they had the Atari computers. Went there like they were going to get. I wanted a 2600. This guy upsold her on the Atari computer. It was the best thing ever to happen to me. And that Christmas, I got the computer and didn't have joysticks at first because they're out of stock. So yeah, and then I had to learn to program because it was quicker to program like a light cycles game in 15 minutes than it was to try and get it loading off tape deck. Yeah, the games were all on tape deck. You had to type the program out and save it and hope that it saved. And my cassette, what a thing, Atari 410, just never saved ever. I could never save anything. Had all these different types of tapes. Yeah. So let's get up to the story with new Doomeranger Comic. What's happening is we're going to do a Kindle version of both first two comics, which is part of the Kickstarter rewards, and because we're doing all that stuff, um, well, we thought that it would be a good idea to add like extra pages. Yes, a little 6-page short story. Features a new character that we. Oh yeah, someone's messaging me. Like no one ever messaged me ever. But now that I'm streaming, that's when my phone goes. Cut that off. What was I talking about? Yeah, Thai TV stuff that we were working on for the last year. Just trying to put people together and talking to all. It's still a long ways from going anywhere, but working pretty solidly on that. So like I'm of the three things we've been working on, I've sort of been helping out a little bit, helping out basically just listing stuff on one of the projects we've just signed up. Excited by it was it's something else, but it's the team is doing like they've just so on the money with what it should be. You don't have to tell them anything. It's great. They get it so well. Not a tie game. My stuff I've been doing is helping out set up some new art for new pitch decks. And all the viz and all those books, which I don't have much to do with beyond art. And here's how I think the story stuff goes and what these characters are like, and then just getting other people up to speed on what Thai is in my head. They get it, which is great. It's like there's Thai fans who know the game, and then you come in there, and the part of that TV stuff led into we came up with a new character. Like, came with a new character. Like we are talking about stuff, and I suggested, we could do this character. It'd be really cool to actually help take care of this bits in the story. Yeah, there is a new character that I'm about in a sec. Yeah, so I've also been working on my other project, which is Tunnel, not Gun Whale, but Tunnel's the top of the boat thing. So I just like because it looks like Gun Whale, and that's like a big thing we're doing. Kind of a Ghibli-esque adventure game is the best way to describe it, I think. Any of my other stuff, it's very sci-fantasy setting. Lots of it's people running around on narrow boats going through canals. Very slow paced. No action. There's no combat. That with characters. It's typical Steve making up lots of characters and then Um, Windows 98. And Windows 98 was a good. I added all the Windows because we just got through 95. I remember getting 95 when it first came out. We did the game for it. 98 was like 95 but nice. It had Millennium, which was trash, and XP was good. I kind of like Star Trek movies, the good ones and bad ones. You can ask me some questions while I start drawing, looking for files I need for my reference. All put up as we go. So, yeah, this is a 6-page story. Just a little gag, basically, where the new character comes to Baramaji. There's Baramaji International Airport, which is basically a shack out in the desert. And got the Orby driving along, and then you got Shazza and Ty. These are the roughs, the layout stuff. There I'll do the ones, which yeah. So I just got to get some reference photos on my other screen. My director just try 1 work, try 2 work, try 3 work, try 4. I've tried 2. Like you're making these directors like, oh well, it's another idea for a thing. None of them actually going ahead yet, but yeah. Try promo, try comic reference. Oh, I don't think these are very clean. Like, this is the way I draw stuff. It makes into looking. That comes from my science teacher in 8th grade. Like we were talking about scientific diagrams. Give an example why what it sort of hit me with. Look like when you draw, some people draw like this and do that these little lines. Yeah, don't do that. A clean line. If you break it up, fine. It looks a lot cleaner and it's more readable. So that was like that's science informing my art. But yeah, just like try if you're drawing and you like little sketchy things, don't. Try and look at the line in your head, and you can do stuff like that. That doesn't get you anything really. Find that if you stop and think, much better image. I have so many shortcut things set up for images. I'm gonna take these head now, but I can't take. I want to hear myself, but I can't. Never mind. Gosh. There's a question there. 3 different philosophies and approaches for drawing designing masculine versus M characters. Remember? Yeah, there is a thought on it, and I've got like 2 different thoughts. There's obviously there's the tough guy, bulky, masculine thing, but I don't think that's always the best to go for because like, we're all over the place, right? I also look at some characters if I want to get one character recently in Gunnel. It's like I wanted him to be like a softer guy, who's kind of not a pretty boy, but the idea is like you treat him like if I was drawing a active woman, sort of the same shape, so softer shapes, a little bit, get rid of the harsh lines and shading. I think he turned out great. He's got a nice soft feel to him, but he doesn't look like a girl. The little things you put on, like it cheats, and real people aren't like that. But stuff like the eyelashes or the hair, the shape of that. Not a tough guy thing, yeah. Obviously, then you go for different body shapes. But all right, talk about doing tough guys, but yeah, you can mix and match them. Like I think you have good example. Nurska in Slayer, the muscly guy with the pretty boy face. Like, yeah, that changes the fun thing. The character that makes him interesting. So, whereas you'll get like at that era back in the 2000s where every guy was like the start of PlayStation 3 / Xbox, where every guy was shaven head, bald. I had some facial hair because I was just this is a tough guy, generic tough guy look, but they're boring. They had Nathan Drake. That's me. I just think he. I don't know if Rocky had a pretty boy face. If you look at Stallone when he was younger, he got a weird face. Bad. Question is, Cram Studios Redbubble still? Yep, we're going to get stuff from Redbubble. We got shorts. We're going to do some new stuff coming up in the next weeks. We were actually talking about it yesterday. We're going to do some new art. That could be fun. Not for me because I've got to do more work, but for you guys. Oh, that. If I pointed the monitor, the thing echoes back different from the microphone. You're looking at the screen really close, like 2 inches away from the screen. I'm just having fun with the acoustic. We're drawing try now. Tries all triangles. Do it a few times. You never draw squares and stuff for try. It's triangle, 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 triangle. I worked that out when I was doing the storyboards for Ty 1 and 2, whatever. I drew like lots of times. Like, how can I draw him quickly? Because I hate drawing him that much. Not that I hate drawing him. I hate drawing the same thing more than once. Yes, I think the Sunshine and Red Earth would look really bright, look good in an airline dress because it's nice and bright and it's got a nice summery feel. Maybe save it for summer. What tablet or drawing screen do you actually use now? Well, actually, I'm on my Cintiq 24 Pro HD Touch. Yeah, my other one died while we were doing I2. Literally died the day after we did I2 setup. Like one of the first 24 HDs. No, 24 nice ones they started doing. They had the good ergonomic base. It's like it lasted about 10 years, and then I contacted Qualcomm to get the parts to fix this or something. So it's like, nah, we don't service that one anymore because it's out of thing. Yeah, maybe time looks too serious these. They're determined because they need to get somewhere on time because they're racing to get to the airport. It's too. Look, more triangles. So we got the point wipers. He's got his hand here inside on the G. That's me holding my arm upside down for reference. Yeah. Enough of the ruts. Let's. Here's tip number 1. Layering called blue line. They learnt off someone else. Their stream. That It's the pencils like nice and light, so they don't get in the way. And my other pencil, like this thing here, which really doesn't look like anything at the moment. I know what it is. Work out how I'm going to make it. Just around the airport. Like, yeah, if you're flying Ryanair, sure. Here we came the time my brother and I went to a road trip around Scotland and we flew back with Ryanair and we had to wait half an hour for our bags after a 15-minute flight. It's like, okay, this is just, watch me, I'm making stuff up as I go along. I love to draw. Especially with architecture, high architecture. That's all about never draw a straight line with a ruler. Rulers are evil, okay. The general comment about the backgrounds. Here's the important thing to learn from me is that just make it all. People will tell you to do the proper 3-point perspective on stuff, and that's all well and good, but the real world, most stuff isn't straight. Get away with a lot by things being irregularly placed or being stuck something in the corner, because that's the way it works to my desk. So this is all regularly nicely laid out, like up there and a LED light there, and then the favorite new toys, which is oh, I love things that make little things that make noises. I used to have a car, my first car. It had it was a little yellow Sierra. It's basically it was a smaller version of what the 4B is in Thai, like the same windscreen and way the will open up. It was a 4B, not the 4B. Astounding 975 cc engine. Everything about cars is like a lawnmower. It was a great little car, and I don't know where the story's going, but I love that. It was a Suzuki Sierra, which is the Jimny, I think. But it was a Samurai at the time. Rabbit, like a bunch of different. No, I won't be drawing Spyro. I have done Spyro years ago, and I loved the first three games. Leave the Spyro story. So 20 years ago, yeah, 20 years ago, we went to Universal, um, the actual game publishers at the time. That was Vendor Universal, and we were having two meetings. One of them was with the Crash Bandicoot producers, and the other one was with the Spyro producers. Yes, sir. Um, and it was kind of like, oh, you better keep the secret from them. Don't let them know that you're there. It's like we walk in there to the Spyro meeting, and the, the crash producers come up to us and go, "Oh, hi, good to see you. Yeah, you've got the Spyro meeting first." Like, yeah, so much for secrecy. They were awesome, both of them. But yeah, we talked with Line, who worked on the first three Spyro games, and she was doing the stuff at Vivendi at the time. And yeah, she was telling us all these stories about the Spyro production and the game that they were never heard of. They were working on after Spyro. It was like the PlayStation 2 game, which was built with stick. Like, actually sounded pretty cool, but they never made that one. I'd seen stories about it after that. But yeah, um, that was really a huge plus. And then we ended up getting Spyro as the project. Well, I think we did start on Crash first. Then ended up like going to another team, and we Spyro instead. There you go. It's just weird how stuff happens. Like in that was more than 20 years ago. It was 22. 20 years ago, we got back from holidays, got back to work, and it was like Robert, the CEO, goes, "Hey, Steve, oh, a friend of ours is at Lucasfilm. Do you want to put some proposals for games that they might want to do?" It's like, "Yeah, sure, send them through. Let's have a look at them." Because you know LucasArts. He very excited about that idea. And yeah, it comes through. There's two proposals looking for people to work on or do pitches for. One is an Indiana Jones game for the Wii, and the other one was a Star Wars game targeting the 30th anniversary. That was Force Unleashed. I didn't like the actual Indiana Jones. What they wanted to do with it on the Wii was like way too unfun sounding. Like they were just doing stuff with, you couldn't just whip stuff. You had to like do all these weird press this button and then aim the whip and then do this. It's like, no, that's not what I want to play. I make that game. So I did a Star Wars pitch, which was to ride up the first level where Darth Vader is through Kashyyyk fighting the Wookiees. Like this big long sequence of what would happen there, and yeah, that's how he ended up getting Star Wars. There's more to it. So I wrote that up, and we had a couple of weeks to do up. I remember telling Robert, it's like we're going to go after this aggressively, and we did. The team, like just everyone, nailed the stuff. We put this demo together in a couple of weeks with the what was then the TY 4 engine that we were rewriting from scratch. Actually helped us in the end because it wasn't the best, I think. Yeah, we did 3 weeks. We did a demo. We had a Jedi running around, which you customized. You could slice up clone troopers and arms and legs would go flying. You could chop down trees. You had these big force moves. So we just imagined like a force repulse and all the stuff. It ended up in the final game, but they were basically we did the demo, and we were like 3 weeks into it. We had like another couple of weeks, like weeks or whatever, and are we on the right track? Good to you guys. That was on a Friday, and then Saturday I get a call from Robert saying, "Yeah, they want us to come to San Francisco to talk more about the thing." And by Tuesday, we were on flights to San Fran, and then had a big meeting with all the heads of the internal teams departments. And we got there, and they had all our demo running on all these machines, and it hadn't crashed in 4 days. And we were like, "That's pretty good." Yeah, we got Star Wars from that. Here's that. Here's the final game. Right, what else you got? I'm curious, is Ty going to be in PlayStation 5? I'm going to buy a PS5 soon. I don't know. I mean, it's not like it wouldn't be on a PS5, but is it going to be on a... No, right? We're not working on a Ty 5 with them. Sure, if we did another Ty game, we do have a tendency to put it on everything now, because we've got experience. Um, Personally, I would be putting it on Switch first, PC, but like I say, we've done all of them. It's like sort of Um, yeah, it'll be on PC. Happens, it'll be on everything. I mean, for TV shows, I'm sure there'll be a play. It'll be a lot easier to get a publisher instead of a play game. No, ironically, sorry, this is me laughing to myself. Ironically, it'll probably be some other developer like it's because the structure works with the licensing. That would be funny. I wouldn't mind. Do it. I'd get someone else to do it. It'd be fine. It'd be weird, but I don't need to go into this much detail for this. But anyway, because establishing, but establishing show is always about setting up presence. I want to go a bit, overboard on it. Usually, that's in my books. To get a feeling of scale and that sort of fancy words. He's on scene. Fancy mix. It looks like it's. I have to make it lower. Fire and mentals. Not sure what this shape is here. It looks like a water tank. Did these last year, so I haven't really looked at them in a while. Wait, hit it on a cliff. Cool. You know what I mean? What on the cliff you talking about? Oh, the green orang. Yeah, that was me trying to get into painting. I don't like painting. Too bad. Well, I think in outlines. That's the problem. Got outlines on there. You can see them colored one. Oh yeah, I have these bursts of where I paint and don't. Not really good at it. I try to practice more, but I find I can't. What's that flag? Give him a reference for a dunny. Is your original Taiwan Danny artwork? Yeah, I gotta say, I'm like most happy with what we did with Hack and Slash and Tie 3. To be honest, I don't think it did as well as would have liked it to. But, you know, that happens. Have to try stuff. And also at the time that there was just a big push for us to do other stuff. Like, as in, with I not doing the whole industry had changed. When I say change, I mean like what players wanted, because you'd had an audience that were growing a bit older, that played their Xbox games, they didn't want stuff. Actually, a very important part of the story. I'm not joking. Oh, I'm glad you liked it. I don't hate the game. Yeah, if you enjoyed it, that's awesome. There's just too much in there to fix, make it worthwhile putting it out on console. Which is sad, but it's just the way things are. And we tried to do a lot with the PC, which is basic bones of the HD um, console games. The stuff we do on the PC. A lot of the console fixes were console specific. The, I mean, yeah, console specific mostly. You're not here to look at me drawing boxes and you want to see the new character, don't you? With hands. You want to see the new character? You want to see me draw more of this stuff? New ones. I'm assuming everyone knows what I'm talking about too, by the way. Will this in? No bother doing it. Yeah, maybe one day. Who knows? I'm not trying to be dismissive of it. It's just like I path we went down wasn't the right one now, but there was a lot of other stuff that extenuating circumstances way things were going. Right. Ready now? I dropped my Burger King. A fun fact for you: for Australian Burger King is Hungry Jack's here. They can get the trademark. But there was a point in like the late night where Burger King actually. I remember going to Sydney once, and in one street, I think you walked down the street, and there was a Hungry Jack's, and like 4 or 5 doors down, there was a Burger King, run by the same companies, and they were trying to push everything over to Burger King, but Australia was Hungry Jackson's like so ingrained for 30 years that it stayed, so they switched everything back to Hungry Jack's. But it's all the same tools and iconography, but instead of saying Burger King, it says Hungry Jack's inside the Burger King. Now, I'm ready to find the right directory. Start with the I'm going to make sure I save that shot. Oh, that would be funny. Random Photoshop crash ruin everything. Here we go. So this is one of the you ready? One of the background or pieces I did for the. Okay. The idea was just like a rough showing the characters in action. This. Edit option. Wait, is it? I've not done this in ages. Oh, there we go. What's that? Obviously, you've got oh, so that's cool. The menus are going up for one thing. Uh, I'll point on the screen, but because it's full screen, I can't actually point stuff. Okay, you got Fluffy and Chips and Smiley and Ed, Letty, Little Nettie, and a bunch of tools and stuff chasing our characters. And obviously, you got Ty with the Flamerang, Daddy, and no chick, I don't know her name. Murray, you got new character. Awesome. Hey, hey. Oh, awesome. That was not a very good. Um, leads into another shot to you. Bye. Healthy stick, prone. How long does it take art to do art just like that? I think I knocked these out pretty quickly. While you see the lines as clean, for me they're just quick, dirty, rough lines. They're not on the spot and perfect. But that was all point. Like you can see here in the got a little overlap in the tail and this bit here and this stuff. So yeah, okay. There's an mouse point. That's actually capturing those lines there. Wait, full piece. The whole thing. That is the full piece. Is like a couple of hours to put in the car, right? Yeah. Still deciding whether to give her whites of the eyes or the color of the fur. You'll see it jumps backwards and towards the cake. Uh, deal. We're talking about stuff for the TV show. But it would be great to have a non-local character there, so that we could actually do that thing where you have the person who explain everything to the audience, unlike a game which you can name and you have the dialogue just say what you need to do on TV. I guess the idea in our head is like you want to move things along. So I suggested this character who's an opossum, not a possum. Possum, but she's on. They're almost super. She's an American possum. Name Virginia, or Ginny as we're calling her. That's a Virginia opossum. Work. But yeah, you got an influencer type character who studies. Uh, her thing is wildlife. Like she's like in a university course thing where she's got a wildlife thing, and she's got a channel where she covers like about animals and stuff. One of those cool nature ones. And she comes down to Australia and get with Bush Rescue Gang and then follow them under Ranger Kent Ridge. Not responsible for it, but they had this little friendship triumvirate thing going with Dazra is kind of the big sister, and um, yeah, like she's a very book smart person. She knows a lot about stuff, but she's cool, but she's younger. Yeah, that's the first Utah character. Well, yeah, she's meant to be cute, smart, capable, um, not bossy or anything like that. Really nice with the rest of the things. So this story is introduction to her, and I am doing the possum gag where uh, they go to pick her up. I'm going to spoil the story now, but it's only 6 pages. He at the thing, they can't find her anywhere. They look around, they hear a shriek, comes tumbling out of the dunny and does the dead possum thing. They're like on her back with her arms and legs in the air. They walk over to her and then she asks, "Is it gone?" Doesn't show a big spider in the dunny. Um, the funny thing was, I came up with this dumb gag. It's a dumb gag, but I like it. It's a very possumy thing. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of stuff with Shazza saying possum with a little tagline, and then we're going to have Australian possums, and you're going to have I haven't done that yet. More new characters. They'll be in the other stories and stuff. And the next Tie game I do, I have this stuff. I do it. And then the TV show, gambling. So yes, did the possum gang, and then there's sort of like this. Where was it? It was Instagram, and there was this video of the possum seeing itself in the mirror and falling over into its legs up thing. It's like, oh, that's really funny. It's all exactly the same as I imagined it. And it turns out it was an AI video. Like, oh, pop. Right? Real shame, but it still was funny to reinforce their idea of the same game. So she's a new character. She's going to be doing stuff. Buddies with Shazza and learning from Rachel Ken. Got her little drone too. Drongo. Drongo's a type of bird, and it's also named the person. Yeah, little. It's not the final design. I just wanted something with like little fly around. So yes, there you go. Brand new toy character. Hooray! But you weren't expecting that, or were you? You guessed that she was a possum from the drawing. I mean, the first one, did anyone guess she was a possum from seeing that? Posted it. I'm glad you guys like her because yeah, I enjoy having her in the shading. It'll be great fun, foiled for it. You need to shake things up. It's not hand-to-hand combat, I guess. I get my way because you know, I like designing characters and stuff. Well, there are possums in Thai too. The you didn't realize a possum. Harrison. They're the ghosts up the top of the hill. Actually, male and female possum, like real possum. Everything that it look. Wait, Alia Comp? No. Here we go. It's been so long, I actually forget which some of the characters are now. Yeah, how dead I am. Well, maybe she is. That's a ghost possum. But that would be this. That was the Thai 2 era possum. That was changed based on that. Name drop of it. Ginny. Calling her Ginny. Virginia is her full name. Oh. Nighty night. Sleep tight. Thank you for coming along. And I will be doing more of these as I do these pages too. So I will try to do them earlier, or I'll try and do a late one for Europe. Late one my time for Europe in the evening. Now that we've got the audio set up, I'll screw it up again next time. Just through headphones work for the audio. I'm not done yet, so I'd like to drawing my buildings and you've seen the surprise reveal. I guess I'll have to do it again next time. We are doing stuff with Tide. That's the it's not like we've given up on it. Stuff takes time, and I'd tell you everything we're doing. I can't show you this get the comic. So back to comic. Catch everyone who's has to go to bed now. Maybe goodbye. You keep drawing. Because I get in trouble. Mad at me if I stop drawing. Oh, that is terrible. This picture. I'm not much easier to get clean lines like that. What a nice bank. Oh, you're cooking. Right. Oh. Oh. Chips. I air fry mine. Air fry is so good for getting chips. Minutes. Crinkle cuts are my favorite. Then on that, slice of white bread, butter it up, put about half width worth of it of chips, fold it over, and the butter melts into the chips, and put the salt on. It's chip buddy. Did you mention anything I missed about the comic? I don't know what you missed. But to run through it again, or you can watch it back. What would you like to know? 96? Got my graded glasses on, so I can read up close and on the other. So I roll. Just showed up now. Comic info stuff because I'm drawing this comic. It's a short story to introduce the character Virginia or Ginny. The TY universe. It was created. Hopefully, should be the idea is she's gonna be the character. That's why we. It should be a big character in the games and stuff going forward. Anything more going on with that? So there will be at some point. You just gotta bear with us. What happens really slowly? Like realized today that we've been talking about the TV show for 2 years now. It was just after I came out of my heart surgery. They started people with partnering. It's been really good. It helps with getting things started and going and moving. A good word in my head for that, but I can't remember. Anyway, all about putting this is. Oh, it's only 10:30. I really. It's made me hungry. It's still early. 30. Probably won't eat lunch I actually planning on making some egg salad sandwiches. But I'm giggling because last year my mum wanted to have sandwiches for around her birthday. It was like we like going to Costco and getting a big platter of sandwich. Three of us, it's like picking out. There was something about full sandwiches like egg and lettuce. We, what I did on Amazon, and I ordered some Japanese style sandwich bags, little triangle ones that you put the sandwiches in. I made up a whole batch of egg salad and tuna and ham and cheese. And I took them over to her place for lunch, and she had no idea that I made them. Well, I'm like, no, I made these. I do have like 100 or so of those bags that I got to use, but I will say, sandwich, you that huge in these bags, it tastes great. The thing about that kind of sandwich just works so good. Well, I need to cut the cross off next time. Bags are big. Red slices are the larger slice. Uh, let's file that under shit you didn't really care about. Oh, there's some pastrami as well. Catch a sandwich later. Hey, watch me eat. I'll do the letters in now. I might as well just. Everyone's still here. Take on. Occurs to me after I'm lettering these that I want to just do white without the outline. Yeah, what the hell. I got a question for everyone who's watching your stream. Where does everyone find out about it from? Like, kind of from the Facebook, Chrome posts, or My Blue Sky, or just Twitch? I'm not actually tracking it. I don't even know if there's Does it tell you that? I should probably. Yeah, if you want to drop comfortable with it, drop like how you found it, how you know that it's on, what I'm meaning to ask. Ah, I read it. That's good. Info is like where you sent it. Yeah, in Tide 2 we'd realised we'd made a mistake with doing the opals collectible, but no defense, um, no one knew what we were doing. I mean, I had no idea. Didn't have a lot of reference for what worked in a platforming game. Because no one had done one, and I guess they had done one like Banjo and stuff. But doesn't count when you have all the stuff that was going on with PlayStation 2 games. A lot of always a lot of talk about it's open environments and things were alive, and so there's a lot of trying to do new stuff while trying to do old stuff. Oh hey, how you doing? You're drawing a vast barren landscape, which is always just Just draw some lines across. More to it than that, but basically it's like it grabs the perspective by drawing art lines. Will work fine. I don't know what this thing. But no, that's what happens. You just make shit up as you go along. Yeah, this lad is definitely the ocean. Look, you can see that. Looks like it. The detail has nothing to do with the story. I just want how this works. Not me. The load bearing gun. updated. Look. Learn about Tie 5 here. How am I supposed to learn about Tie 5? Hell, who are playing at? Hey, oh, oh, gone, come back. Okay. Did this, but it needs to. No, Mike, just be a pity if there was an accident and they, like, disappeared. You may have noticed. You may have noticed that I work zoomed in a lot because the old days of working on pixel art on the Amiga on Atari, where even though it was like 320 by 200, which is more than most icons, nowadays, yeah, you'd still zoom in because you wanted to do it pixel by pixel. That sort of never unlearnt that. Find about 300% zoom is a just right layer distance out. Um, Better control over the lines. Favourite song of the other day. I like Outback Safari a lot. I like the main theme. The other ones. These were like one of the Mount Boom ones. Um, Island. Although it's not oh, yeah, for the bonus. With the character design I was playing around with early days, which I probably use because what about him? Polar bear. Name is Marco. Marco. Actually looking for other reference. What character you got? Yeah, it's doing the same scene. It's really hard to come up with different rules. Having two characters in a car as they're driving along. I didn't bother. This isn't the TV Shazza. This is I5 Shazza, the one in Doomeranger Comic. Everyone in TV wants to look more like the hairstyle from Shazza. I1 Shazza. Yeah, this is the one from the comics. Yeah, she does have short hair. But in the TV show, she's more of a mix of Tai 1 and Tai 2's costume. I don't want to draw that because this is my comic. But what I want. Otherwise, what's the point? Wait, is a TV show in the picture place? Yeah, we're still pitching. I actually got a one. Yeah, we'll take it straight away. So yeah, pitch it around. See who's interested in stuff. That's the way it works. It takes ages. I've been doing this for years. Started putting stuff together and started talking to people. I hope it's not 2 more years, but who knows? It all depends on what who's got the money once at that time. One thing you probably should realize though is if there is a TV show, I probably won't be working on it. As in, not day to day. That's not my thing. I don't make TV shows. I'm not. I can like help out and get here and there, but generally it's going to be other people involved day to day. That yeah, my job is to make sure that it feels like time. And be interesting. Not something I've experienced before. I've always done my own stuff, apart from that Star Wars thing. Other than that, I've had a that's one page. Got to work on the next or roughs. Oh, look, more cars. God, no, no more cars. Why do I do this to me? But here you see the process before you. Right, thumbnails. And I go through and I do the borders. I like to get them done early so I know when. And after the borders, get a slightly cleaner layout. Now I'm going to take a slightly cleaner layout, make some slightly cleaner pencils. Once we go have a nap, Maybe. That was a fun. I'm hungry. Offer via internet. Gonna like another 5 minutes. Back in a second. I've got to do little boy's room. All right, I'm back. Sounded really weird when I put the head. No. Back. How's it done? 20 minutes. That's like I have to do. I have a bottle of water here. My 100 ml bottle of water from Woolies. Like 3/5 of it I've drank. And Mr. Hydration. Normally I drink, but water. I'm gonna try something with audio because I've got the boost up way too. No, it's not so high. Bring anything? Oh, whatever. Anyway. Really, actually. No, yeah, yeah, oh boy, is it some. Not even the worst of it. So far. You wonder what they're doing at the airport. They're going there to pick her up. Did they say that? They miss it. Like they get there. They're following the plane. So following the plane. They're late. Plane leaves. They arrive there late. Big pile of stuff that belongs to the person they're supposed to pick up. Next page is the day we introduce the character. Okay, you're forgiven. Just this once. Fine. Relentless teeth. Ooh, John's hand is gigantic. Okay, I'm gonna have to call that a day. He wants some attention. He wants to play. I'll get some lunch. I got a lot done. I might actually be on again tomorrow. I will be on again next week. Or yeah, thanks for stopping by. Giving me company as I draw. Helping me out with the audio at the start. But yeah, catch you later. Have a good weekend.